4. Good morning, Unity of Walnut Creek. Good to see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing at home? How you doing outside? Give me a wave. Thank you. All right, so we have Sky Nelson in the house, bringing us all his wonderful songs. Please rise in body or spirit. Join us in singing. Take it away, Sky.
I'm gonna let the joy wash over me. I'm gonna let the joy wash my worry away. I'm gonna let the joy wash over me. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day, yeah. I'm gonna let the love flow out of me. I'm gonna let the love wash my worry away. I'm gonna let the love flow out of me. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day. I'm gonna let the laughter fall out of me. I'm gonna let the laughter wash my worry away. I'm gonna let the laughter fall out of me. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day. Break it down. I'm gonna let the joy wash over me. Yeah. I'm gonna let the joy wash my worry away. Feel that. Let the joy wash over me. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day. I'm gonna celebrate this precious day.
Good morning, Unity. Welcome to our Unity of Walnut Creek service. My name is Casey, and how was last night? Dirty cello? Yeah.
Got your shirt on. And my name's Brenly. Welcome to our service.
We want to greet and bless everyone who's watching online. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we are grateful to have you with us. Thank you for joining. Please join me in welcoming our guest musician, Sky Nelson. Joined by Tyler on keyboard, Dusty on bass, and Larry on drums. Let's go, guys. Thank you for sharing your music with us today.
Reverend Kristin will deliver today's message titled Prospering and Healing Through Understanding.
Before we begin, I invite you to turn your phones to silent as we enjoy the sacred service together.
So let's take a moment to be grateful for this land that our center rests upon. This is Bay Miwok and Ohlone land.
We honor the Bay Miwok and Ohlone people of today and are grateful for those who stewarded this land before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred native grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
And our mission is who we have come here to be. Let's say this together. We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. Our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
If you're with us for the first time, welcome. If you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so that we may give you a welcome packet.
Thanks. I got a few new ones. Got one over.
We're happy to have you with us today. We invite you to visit our bookstore across the patio after the service to receive a welcome gift, and we hope you'll stay after and chat with some of us. Yeah, welcome.
Connection. Yep, we got one more over here, Mike. There we go. Connection cards are available in the newcomer welcome packets and in the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information. Place the card in the offering basket when it comes around. For those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website.
That's you.
Yes. We have several activities to highlight this week, and I'd like to start with just an announcement. This will be Casey and myself, our last day facilitating. Thank you. Where are you going, Casey?
I'm going to Colorado Springs to get my master's, and where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. She completes me, so without her, I have to step down as well. So we're very excited for Casey's next journey and for her and her master's. So she's also, what are you doing with the basketball team?
Oh, I'm coaching them as well.
Oh,
yeah, so
yeah,
I got
that's
the
right.
graduate
She's just
assistant
coaching.
position. Yeah.
So great, good things ahead. Your Board of Trustee invites you to community gathering next Sunday, July 30th at 1 in the sanctuary. This will be a circle format to hear your questions, provide updates. So join us to get connected, learn more about Unity's 75th anniversary, and our automated giving campaign. Bring your questions, feedbacks, and ideas. Additionally, this Wednesday is the board meeting, and everyone's welcome to attend the board meeting. It's back in the community room. You can kind of observe, find out what's going on, offer input.
Yeah.
True?
Yes, very true. I'm
Casey's
on the board.
also a board member.
What don't I do? Yes. I am on the board.
She doesn't golf.
Oh, I don't. We're going on Thursday, and I'm going to watch YouTube videos beforehand. Okay, sorry. Back to our service. This 75 automated giving campaign has a goal of having 75 people sign up for automated giving throughout their bank bill pay platform in the 75 days leading up to our 75th anniversary. Wow. Celebrating on September 10th. See Danae, Ligon, and Richard on the patio how to learn how to enroll if you need help. I know, that was a lot. 75.
Join Michelle Shakala and Melissa Kehoe for an intuitive 4-week journey of the chakras through the lens of the 12 powers.
Are you okay?
Kristin's coaching me on how to properly pronounce chakras and Shakala. And I probably didn't do either of them correctly. The class will include meditation, journaling, embodied healing techniques, and intuitive practices to help promote balance and well-being in your life. Sign up to experience the chakras. Chakras? Chakras. Chakras. Michelle Chakala.
Okay. All right, I got it. My turn. All right. Yeah, we are. Bob Hardy invites you to his creative spiritual experience with painting workshop on Saturday, August 5th from 1 to 4:30 p.m. If you have no art experience and wonder how to express without limitations, this is for you. All paint, supplies, and setup are provided. This class sells out quickly. Please remember to reserve your seat in the bookstore today.
And now I'd like to invite Lisa Snorden-Phelps to the platform.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, that was so nice. We are going to have another session of choir, so I want to make sure that people know, and so that we can all be getting together to share the joy of lifting up our hearts through song. And we are changing rehearsals to Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. Is that saying it right there? Yeah, Tuesday, August 8th will be the first rehearsal. We'll have 5 weeks of rehearsal, and then we're going to be singing up here on the day that we are honoring our 75th anniversary of Unity of Walnut Creek. So come see me. Sign up at the bookstore. It's very helpful if you sign up. And the only thing you need to do is have a loving heart and be able to carry a tune. So thank you so much.
For more information and registration for all our events, please see our website. You may also register for events in our bookstore and visit our welcome table for flyers.
As we prepare for a time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and repeating our statement of faith together There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We begin with music, followed by guided meditation and silence.
When I find my mind is racing, I look inside me. I look inside me. I realize this world I'm chasing. I look inside me. I look inside me. I look inside me. I look inside. I recall the joy I'm feeling. I look inside me. I look inside me. I am filled up to the ceiling. I look inside me. I look inside me. I look inside me. I look inside. I look inside me. I look inside.
So as we turn our focus within, as we look inside, as we feel inside, just noticing how we are today. What is present in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies today? With every breath, just allowing ourselves to settle in a little more deeply. Feel the love that is here for us. Center the depths of the silence of our beings, even just for a few moments together, so that we can remember, perhaps even glimpse a little bit of the truth of who we are in silence. Truth is rising up in our beings. As you begin to notice some truth arising, moving through your heart. The truth that wants to be known in you may be spoken through you. What is that truth? Can you hear it? I am love. I am loved beyond measure. Wrapped in the arms of the infinite divine presence. From the soles of my feet to the crown of my head, every hair on my head, every cell of my body is made of light, is known by the divine. I am powerful beyond measure. And that power is a power that is only for good. So I can lean into it, own it, allow it to move through me. The light of God shines through me, erasing any boundaries between me and all beings. The breath of God is light and free and moves through me, making me light and free. I am that I am. The truth I remember now, I see, experience, even if it's just a little corner of that truth. Whatever has troubled me of late falls away now, in its smallness, in its limitation. I see with bigger, broader vision. I rise up into the truth that Spirit feeds me, and I feast upon it and allow it to fuel me in all that I do and say. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for the feast of silence. And so it is.
When I find my mind is racing, I look inside me, I look inside me. I realize this world I'm chasing, I reach inside me, I look inside me, I look inside me. Look inside. I recall the joy I'm feeling. I look inside me. I look inside me. I am filled up to the ceiling. I look inside me. I look inside me, I look inside me, I look inside. One, two. 1, 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. La 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 la. We sit in darkness quietly, surrounded by a boiling sea, and I just try to open my eyes a bit. For what I've seen, there are no words. The depth of how a soul can hurt, and I just try to open my eyes a bit. Here in the dark, I will peel back the layers of my heart. I'll stay with you, and we'll open to the feelings that come through. Me and you. If you take the chance to say what's true, do you fear I'll raise my voice at you instead? I've tried to open my eyes a bit, but I try to see the things you do with a little bit more room to move as I just try to open my eyes a bit here in the dark. I will peel back the layers of my heart. I'll stay with you, and we'll open to the feelings that come through. Me and you. Although we come from different lives, I'll set my history aside to see your point of view. But underneath suspicious words, I hear the ways that you've been hurt, and I want to know the way things were for you. Here in the dark, I will peel back the layers of my heart. I'll stay with you, and we'll open to the feelings that come through. Me and you. I see the light grow steadily. It's coming from inside of me, and I try to open my eyes.
Welcome back, Sky. Talked a lot about sky last week with the power of imagination. Then we manifested the sky. So there was this young couple who had invited their minister to Sunday dinner. And so the minister came, and he was interacting with their son while the couple was in the kitchen making the meal. And he says to the boy, "What are we having?" And the boy says, "Goat." He said, "Are you sure about that?" He said, "Yep, I heard my dad telling my mom we're going to have the old goat for dinner." I know, it's kind of a groaner. It was just to get your attention. And welcome to everybody who's online. Thank you for being with us today. And even some brave souls outside. I guess it's not too hot outside either. It's perfect. It's perfect everywhere. In here, out there, right? So today is the power of understanding. We're in the series on the 12 powers. And understanding is comprehending. It's realization. It's insight, perspective. it shows up in the location of the body is in that prefrontal lobe of the brain that we hear so much about today, the critical thinking and the evolution, all this good stuff takes part in that part of our brains. And it's gold, very much like the color, actually, that's there in the picture. So understanding, when we think about understanding is golden, right? When we get to that place of understanding, whether it be this more cognitive piece of understanding, like an aha or realization or a coming to know some truth, or from the heart. It also is a pathway through the heart, right? When we understand each other, when we are in agreement and harmony with one another, when I suddenly now get your perspective, and when somebody will say, I get you, there's that sense of, okay, now we understand each other, right? Now we've arrived at that place where we have sparked this power. So when this energy center of understanding, because that's also what these 12 powers are, is energy centers. So when this is open, we can literally be open-minded, right? We are open-minded. We are curious. We want to know. And so there is that sense as well. Basically, we could boil it down to these two aspects. One is comprehension, and one is compassion, just so that it makes it a little bit easier for us to hone in on all that this can be. And so let's take comprehension for a moment first. I have know this minister, her name's Jackie, that I named her Jackie, actually, it's not her real name. And Jackie was doing a celebration of life service for this man that she didn't know very well. And so she got a little bit of information from the family, but not very much. So she decided to kind of fill the service and bring forth into the service some of the spiritual teachings. And the wife of the man who had made his transition was sitting there kind of with almost her jaw dropping during the service while Jackie was starting to talk about some things that she had never heard put that way before. She was so moved by it that she sprung up at one point and said, "Now, I want to see if I understand what you're saying right now." And she said, "Are you saying that right now I am connected to God, I am connected to this divine presence, and I always have been? And that the only way that I could be separated from this God is through thinking that I am separated?" And Jackie said, "That's right." And the woman just shook her head and sat down and just, really just taking it all in. After the service, they had a little more conversation. And she says, "Okay, so if what you're saying is true, it seems to me that everything in my life has been incorrect." Because she said, "I rejected my parents' religion a long time ago. That God that they believed in went out the window. I just couldn't get with it. And when I rejected that, I assumed God rejected me too. And so all these years I've lived with this void in my life. And now you're telling me that I was one with this presence and this power and this love all along, that I never lost that connection. And this makes me wonder, what else have I assumed? What else have I assumed that has undermined my potential throughout my life?" Pretty powerful insights. Her questions lead us into that idea of what are we assuming that's really robbing us of our divine potential, that's robbing us of a wider understanding, a spiritual understanding of who we truly are and why we're here and what we're about and what life is about and what relationship is about. Remember, don't make assumptions is one of the 4 agreements in the Toltec wisdom. We visited those several times, right? And often our assumptions are based on experiences of the past that don't serve us anymore. Maybe never did, but we thought they did at some time, or that was just the information we had to go on. But it's that idea that this woman assumed that her spiritual connection was only contingent on following her parents' religion was pretty tragic for her. But then what a homecoming to hear it differently. You know those moments you can hear the same message over and over, but it's just the right moment at the right time, and you're open-minded, open-hearted, ready to hear it. And then, now I get it. Now I can open the door to that and really let it in. It seems to me that that's what happened for her, and that this understanding now was in her grasp. We make assumptions all the time, don't we? As human beings. Yeah, we run on assumptions all the time. We fill in gaps of information all the time. And they can have serious implications, spiritually and interpersonally. My first partner was Pentecostal, and one of the ways that we connected was because we were excited to talk about our faith. We had different perspectives, yes, but we had a shared deep love and commitment to our spiritual journeys. Yet for her, she had this dichotomy in her mind that her experience was binary in the sense that she could not love women and love God. And so the rules she set up for herself was, if I'm in a relationship with a woman, then I do not go into the house of God because, that's not okay. And so there was always this internal struggle. There was always the struggle then present in our relationship as well, where I knew that she had shoved this huge piece of herself to the side or pushed it down. And so it's that experience that we can create out of prejudices, ignorance, all kinds of things that have been handed down to us often through authority figures, and that we have somehow swallowed, taken in, digested, and carry around as truth, even though it's far from it. Couldn't be any further from our truth, right? And so it's recognizing that we are bumping up against that helps us then understand more deeply what our journey is about, what your spirit is about, by really looking again, taking another perspective, hearing another person's perspective. All of that can help us build understanding. In the prayer of St. Francis, it says, "O divine Master, grant that I will not so much seek to be understood as to understand." In Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of those habits is exactly that. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And so those kind of principles to use in relationship with one another can be very, very powerful for us in bridging, in bringing forth the compassion in our lives that can happen through understanding. Proverbs 18:2 puts it bluntly, "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing their opinions." So are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening in your relationships? Really? You might be listening, right? But are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening to your higher self? Are you engaging that wonderful aspect of skillfulness, really, that is called curiosity? Because it's through curiosity that we build our understanding, whether it's mental curiosity or emotional curiosity or spiritual curiosity. It's all of that opens the way, right? I have a friend Althea, that would take her spiritual practices. I just always admire how she takes her spiritual practices, and I want to give a shout out if she often watches. But she was on this process for a while, like whatever her practice was, it was 200% in, and then she'd move on to some other practice. But for a while, her practice was curiosity. That was her spiritual practice, and so she looked at everything with a curiosity. As a Black woman, as a lesbian, I imagine there were many times that she heard something or took something in and went, either normally would say, ouch, or push against it. But because she was practicing, she would say, how curious. I'm curious about that. Tell me more. I'm curious about your experience. I'm curious about that viewpoint. And so it was through that practice that greater understanding, this power of understanding, can be developed in all of us, however we take that practice on. Curiosity is the thing that opens us to say, tell me more. I'm listening. I'm in a receptive mode, which, is, I think Spirit applauds when we go into receptive mode, because so often we are in this motion, in this doing, in our mental, using our mental capacity and thinking that's who we are, forgetting that we are not just our intellect. At the 9:30 service, in the middle of the or throughout the meditation, I kept hearing this clicking noise. And I would open my eyes and look around and wonder what the clicking noise was and kind of get, absorbed in that. But then there was that other part of me that was meditating that would say, it's not a problem. Nobody else seems to be disturbed. I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter what it is, so let it go and move back into meditation, right? And then I'd be in that blissful space for a little bit and then click, 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 click. Wonder what that is. Can you relate to this? But what's interesting when we look at meditation is who's paying attention to the thoughts, What is that in us that is able to witness, that is able to move into that space that is looking at what's being thought? And so that's why meditation is so powerful, because we shift into that higher plane, into that space, into that godlike essence, to be able to look and see with curiosity. Oh, look what she's thinking now. Isn't that cute? Or isn't that disturbing? Or isn't that distracting? So it's just, or no judgment at all, just interesting. Look, anger is coming up now. Look at that. Oh, wow, look, what does it look like? What does that feel like? So when we can be in that kind of bigger space, that's when we are sitting in the power of understanding, seeing, like Sky was talking about earlier, from within, feeling from that space within, and curiosity helps us get there. To remain forever teachable. To never get to that point where we think, I've heard it all, I've learned it all, I've got it all, I don't need to experience anything more, I'm complete. In some ways, that can be a really powerful statement to make. I knew a guy who said he got rid of all of his spiritual books. When I heard that, I went, what? How did you do that? But he just said, I just finally realized it's like, I'm not going to really move to the next level of my understanding if I keep relying on everybody else's interpretations and all these other books. I'm clearing the decks. So he got rid of all of them. And then there was just spaciousness. And there was just him and his divine presence and his understanding within and with others. So, I don't know, maybe you'll take that practice on. If you do, let me know how it goes. Maybe you'll give me a little inspiration to get up the courage to do it myself. In relationship, we can learn so much. Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us and others can lead us to understanding ourselves better. Right? We all get that, right? We don't always want to get it, but we all get it. But delving into this spiritual understanding, framing, just beginning to just inquiry into what's up in my life. What am I leaning into? What's my growing edge? Maybe even just close your eyes for a moment and consider that. What is the question I'm living into in my life right now? The thing I'm leaning into, growing. What would I like to better understand? Even to know the question to know the thing you're sitting with, the thing that you're moving into, the place that you are and your spiritual journey can be helpful. Because you're basically waking up that power of understanding and saying, I want to know a little more about this. I want to get to a bigger, deeper truth around this particular topic or idea or growing edge, whatever it may be. In Matthew it says, ask and it is given. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door will be opened. And so even if your answer doesn't come now or the question doesn't come now, it will in time, trusting that. The disciples of understanding are Mary of Bethany and Thomas. Mary of Bethany there's several stories about Mary and Martha and their brother Lazarus. Mary and Martha are sisters. And there's that one story where they're preparing for everybody to come over, Jesus, other disciples, maybe others, neighbors or others. And Martha is very busy. She's making the food, she's cleaning the house, she's running around, she's feeling a little stressed about getting everything just so is the way I imagine it. And Mary's just sitting at Jesus' feet listening to him. And Martha's incensed. Jesus, tell Mary to come help me. There's many things to do. And Jesus says, oh, Martha, you worry about too many things. Mary's chosen the better part. In other words, that understanding, that thirst for understanding is the better part, right? And we get caught up in the world. We get caught up in all the things we think we need to do. And if we just stop and ask ourselves sometimes, how important is this really? What if I just sat down and opened up myself to sit in the silence for a few minutes, or to open a passage and read something that's inspirational, or to have a conversation that's a little deeper or more spiritual, whatever it may be that would feed us in that moment. How much more would we do and get from that experience? So Thomas, as the disciple, is, we know his nickname, right? Everybody know Tom, or some of you know, what's his nickname? Doubting Thomas, yeah. So I don't like it when these disciples get bad raps. It's like, because I think there was actually more to it than that. There always is more to it than that, right? So Thomas, I think maybe Thomas was a kinesthetic learner. The whole story where he gets that name is because Jesus has been resurrected and he's appeared to the disciples, and Thomas says, oh no, I won't believe it. I won't believe it until I put my hands in the marks where the nails were in his hands, or till I put my hand on his side. I won't believe it until I feel it. And so for Thomas, it's feeling it, right? And that first-hand, direct sensory experience, Thomas is pointing us to something about understanding. That understanding is not just intellectual, it is that. It's not even just of the heart, it is that. But it's in the body. It's an embodied kind of understanding. It's like we get some new information and then we process it. We come to an understanding about it. We realize, this is truth. And then we let it be digested into our whole being. And Thomas is saying, in order to have the fullness of understanding, I need to touch it. I need to feel it. I need to let it be known through the cells of my body. I think Thomas really had something there that points to the kind of spirituality of our day, which is embodied spirituality. Long ago, we realized this idea of living from, this 12 powers idea or chakras idea of from here up, right? That's been kind of this spiritual story, is we live from here up. And it's like, forget the rest of the body. That's the lower, regions. That's the flesh. The flesh is weak. The flesh is bad. It's something we should split off from in order to be a spiritual person. And I think we understand now, what a mistake that was. How much injury that has caused us to cut ourselves off from the beauty of being embodied. and to recognize that we are spiritual from the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet. And this connection with terra firma, with the earth, is important, right? We can see it in what's happening in our world, in our earth. It's like, oh, there was a disconnect. We made a disconnect. We thought somehow the earth was lesser. But it turns out that God is everywhere present. We say it all the time. Why wouldn't it be in the earth? Why wouldn't it be in us, in the soles of our feet, as well as the crown of our head, as well as the energy field, as well as the ethers and the celestial bodies in the sky and the stars, just as much there as in the little grains of sand upon the earth and the waters of the earth. And so it's a recognition of that embodiment that I think Thomas gives us by saying, I can't internalize this understanding until I can fully digest it and embody it as truth that I have experienced directly. So, deliberately incorporating understanding we can do ourselves. One of the ways we can do that is through walking or movement. There are obviously some things like Qigong and yoga that are designed to bring spiritual energy and using the body as well. But there's also things like walking our labyrinth or any labyrinth to have that experience. In fact, literally that last pathway, the pathway, it's one pathway, but that there's the movement in, there's the centering, the receiving, the insight, and then there's that movement out, that walking of the path out is literally the incorporation path, meaning corporal, body, like incorporating into the body the insight that I received. And so understanding is, I really like this term, this idea of digesting truth. Sometimes we use that saying, that's too hard to swallow, right? Or I can't swallow that. And really, are we saying maybe that's not truth for me? Or is it something to dig deeper into and see, is it truth for me? Is it something I will let into my body temple? Is it worthy of this sacred place? And so it's quite a shift, isn't it, to think of ourselves in that way than maybe some of the ways we were taught when we were young, in other religious settings perhaps. And so to recognize, the fullness of my being is welcome here in the house of God, in the house of God. And so I welcome my understanding on all levels, on the cellular level, and the emotional level, on the intellectual level. There are all kinds of practices that we can do, whatever it is that you love to do. If you're a runner or a swimmer or a surfer or whatever, you like to do, maybe physically, you can incorporate your insights into that experience with intention, with mindfulness brought to your activity, or even sitting still, bringing that mindfulness into the breath or daily activity, whatever it is. This idea of truth, of what is truth, that is the trillion-dollar question, isn't it? Especially these days. What is truth? Because we're constantly bombarded in our world by the World Wide Web, and I don't mean just the internet, although that is true too, but the World Wide Web of ideas and thoughts and emotions and perspectives and backgrounds and ideologies, and it goes on in histories and culture, and the longer we live and the more of us on the planet, it just feels like there's a heating up of lots of information. We used to say information is power, but information alone is not power. It's just information. It's neutral, right? It has neither good nor bad. It's just information. It's what do we do with it? How do we take it in? Do we take it in? Do we digest it as our truth? Does it resonate with us as truth? It's up to us to really filter that. We can always get help. Wherever two or more are gathered, there I am. We can always be together in prayer and meditation, and I hope we do more of that, because spiritual community is a deep, deep hunger. Isn't it? Yeah. We're starving ourselves spiritually. Not here in this room necessarily, because, here you are gathered in spiritual community. But when you look out across the planet, you can see where there's deprivation of community. It's the thing that comes up the most in classes lately is I want friends. I want community. I want real connection. I want deeper conversation. I want to feel like I'm a part of something. I want to have companionship that is walking this journey with me. Anybody relate to this? Even here, you might be sitting here going, here I am in spiritual community, and I feel lonely here. Yeah. And so it's the call of the heart and the willingness to open our hearts to ask for what it is that we are looking for so we can connect in these meaningful ways and support each other to lift the understanding and the truth on the planet up higher within all of us so that it can be manifested. Dr. Emily Cady is one of the early writers of Unity and New Thought, and she wrote Lessons in Truth, many of you probably know, used to be kind of our main go-to book, still is a key one. And she said, you won't have spiritual understanding until down in the depths of your being you are conscious of your oneness with the eternal presence. She's talking about that kind of understanding that's digested and true through it's vibrating in every cell of our beings. When we connect with these ideas, they aren't just theoretical ideas or nice words that we say, we're all one. It's like, well, we can say that, and that's great, and that's happy and clappy. It can be on that level, right? We all can be there. We can all be there at different times, But it's when we get it, like we really get it, when we feel it, when we experience it, that's understanding. And that's a full-on body, mind, spirit experience. That's what the power of understanding can offer us. And all we need to do is be willing to take it on by opening ourselves, by being curious, by listening, by saying, tell me more, to our spirit, to our higher self, to each other. Tell me more. I'm listening. I'm curious. I want to understand more about all of us on this planet, about this conscious oneness that we talk about, this spiritual awakening that's happening where all life thrives in conscious oneness. I don't want to just talk about it. I don't want to just say our vision statement. I want to know it. I want to feel it. I want to walk it. I want to talk it. Yeah? Don't we? So let's do that, because it is all in a contribution to healing and prosperity for ourselves and our planet and each other. All those that you hold dear can be healed and whole and prospered by you saying, I'm understanding more now. I'm walking that path of truth, whatever that truth is that is yet to be revealed. So let's speak our affirmation together as we walk this journey this week, the power of understanding. Together? Through the power of understanding, I digest and incorporate truth into my being. And so it is.
Thank you, Kristin, for reminding us the power of understanding.
If you'd like to work with applying today's message and power in your life, join Reverend Kristin for Walk the Talk on Thursdays at 7 p.m. in the sanctuary. It's a great way to get to know people while digging deeper in today's message.
Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide personal prayer support. If you are a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles.
Whether you have a joy or concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains can be a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there's no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. In addition to checks and cash, you may download the Give app, scan the QR code on the back of the yellow card that's in the back of each chair in front of you, set up bill pay through your bank. Those of you at home may click on the donate button on the Watch Live page.
I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
1, 2, 3, 4. The power to change the world, that's what I believe. I've got the power to change the world. I got the love here in me. Got the power to change the world, that's what I believe. Compassion to heal the world. I got the love here in me. I've got compassion to heal the world. That's what I believe. I've got compassion to heal the world. I got the love here in me. I've got compassion to heal the world. That's what I believe. Hey. Take it away, Tyler. I've got a mind here to choose my fate. I got the love here in me. I've got a mind here to choose my fate. That's what I believe. I've got a mind here to choose my fate. I got the love here in me. Mind here to choose my fate. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. One more time. That's what I believe.
You guys sound like you've been playing together for years. It's amazing. All right. Well, thank you for ushering today, both of you, and bringing forth these gifts. We give thanks for the givers in this room and beyond that are connected to our community, that love this community, that support this community, and for the ministry that is empowered by this prosperity that flows through us. And we know that it's each of us give individually, we too are blessed beyond understanding. So thank you, Spirit, for our ever-growing abundance. Let's bless it now. We give thanks for the ever-increasing constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. Lots of good energy going on in there. So our children have taken a pass at coming in, I hear. They must be having too much fun. Anyway, let's bless them anyway. We'll send them a blessing. Do you want to do the song, or do you want to just bless them? Well, let's do the song. All right.
Love, love, come join the circle of light. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you and the light in me are one.
What are we closing out with today? I think it's I Choose Love.
Oh, but we're going to bless our kids too, right?
Oh, excuse me. Yes, of course. That's right. We went to song, and, it doesn't take much to... Together, let's bless them. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. You all just got blessed as children.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
All right. We're going to close with I Choose Love. Please rise in body or in spirit. You can put your hands over your heart and take it in. You can put your hands out if you like to hold hands. Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present is what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Love's always present is what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
You are the light and the love and the understanding on earth right now. So let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.